I mean, just about a month ago, we thought that the situation there was starting to be under control, but now look at where we're at right now. So,
a resurgence in a few
Exactly.
countries where we deem they're successfully overcoming the COVID-19. So we will be joined by Nadia Mohsin from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Nadia, good evening, Nadia.
Hi, good evening, Ralph and Fifi. Good evening.
Okay, Nadia, what can you tell us from the latest situation following the Malaysia's government restriction on COVID-19?
Well, if you look at the number of daily cases, like what stated in the report earlier, I can say that this situation are really bad. You know, looking at the figures and comparing it to the number of cases that we have recorded last year during the MCO 1.0 is alarming and it's really worrying. And moreover, suggestions from the Ministry of Health on double face mask and shield is another indicator on how serious the situation now, which we all know that has been spread throughout community. And Malaysians are encouraged to wear double face masks and face shield in crowded and high-risk public areas such as hospital, which means that they are increasing in high-risk public area. And it is believed that with double face masks can give extra protection and can filter up to 95% of the COVID-19 virus, although the government has not made it compulsory for now. So with the recent spike of positive cases of COVID-19, the government now once again announced the tighter SOP of the current movement control order 2 days ago, a week after the MCO 3.0 were imposed prior to Hari Raya Aidilfitri celebration, which I reported earlier.
what is the latest situation in KL, Nadia, as far as work and school are concerned? Is everybody doing everything back from home now?
Yes, following the, it's almost been 2 weeks from the government imposed an MCO 3.0. And the current statistic on positive cases are the result of how the people respond to it. You know, sadly, when the government banned house-to-house visit as well as ziarah cemetery visit are not allowed during Hari Raya, some of the people find other solution by flocking the shopping mall as the economic sector remain open. So there are few restrictions that's been announced by the government to tighten the current movement control order with more restriction on social and economic sectors where people were advised to implement self-lockdown. So the restriction include 80% of government staff and 40% of the private sector will work from home as one of the strategies to flatten the COVID-19 curve, which will involve 750,000 government staff and about 6.1 million private sectors workers starting today. So based from what I see today, I think people are start to complying to the restriction, but you know we still have a long way to go.
Nadia, the Malaysian government is receiving an ongoing criticism from the public. Which is the strongest critic towards the government of Malaysia?
Yes, I think the criticism come from many levels of the community itself. I think the frustration just snowball, you know, but the core is the inconsistency of the government approach and methods in handling this whole situation. And there's confusion.
You mentioned inconsistency. Can you give us an example which policy is inconsistent to the other?
Okay. We've been having a third wave of lockdown now. We declare emergency ordinance, and none of this helped to bring the rising number down. Some call for total lockdown to be imposed, like we did before, like we did last year. But things are different now. You know, economically, Malaysia can't afford it at the moment. We need more money, and fund needed, and employment rate soars. Some don't even have enough money to get their basic necessity. There is no plan on how to help the lower income to tackle this thing. Some don't even, and at the same time, cases are at the highest now. Never have more people died. Hospitals are running out of beds and ventilators. Quarantine centers are overflowing, and frontliners have been working 24/7 trying to save lives. And not to forget the double standard, regarding to the rules and regulation. I think that frustrates people most when the elites has been saying to get rid of some of the regulation. So and of course, on the other hand, there are people who are irresponsible and neglect the SOP either, and there are some who are still reluctant to get vaccinated. And so, if this continues, I'm afraid it will only bring Malaysia to the much worse situation, you know.
And what about the vaccination program there, Nadia, is also being criticized because it was deemed to be too slow.
Yeah.
Well, data shows
Yes,
that less than
the vaccination
1% out of the 33
will
million
also
have been vaccinated.
criticized. The lack of supply, the delaying of the distribution, you know, and there's many more confusion. I just
Nadia, are you still with us?
Okay, then we got cut off, but we hope Nadia Mohsin is keeping herself healthy and safe. Thank you very much, Nadia Mohsin, joining us from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Wow.